So we have Magic Johnson responding to Anthony Edwards again this time, and he went more in depth. First time he said he doesn't respond to anyone who hasn't won anything, but here we are again. He was asked about it on Jimmy Kimmel's late night television show, and obviously Magic and the older players respect Anthony Edwards' game as a talent, but when you come out and you disrespect their era, they have to educate you on these things because it's supposed to be a bridge from the older game to now. Like, how did we get here? What's the evolution of the game? Who does he look like? And so people have been comparing him to 84 or 86 Mike. I can't remember which one. And Anthony Edwards has came out and said other things that kind of made me look at like maybe he shouldn't be saying that. He talked about being a better three-point shooter than Michael Jordan. Better is very misleading. You could look at some of Jordan percentages and you might see some years in the teens, but Anthony Edwards probably took more threes in 5 games than Michael Jordan took in those seasons. But if you look at the seasons where Michael Jordan averaged around 3 threes a game, he's shooting about 35, 36% from the arc in those seasons. So he's not, he's right on par when you factor in the volume of a three-point shooter nowadays. Just look at the seasons. It's on Basketball Reference. You can go check it yourself. He's right on par with those guys. But that's not the point of this video. What he said was Michael Jordan was the only player that had skill in his era. So we're about to check it out, what Magic said in response.
This is Anthony Edwards. He plays for the Timberwolves. Man. He was comparing your NBA era to his NBA era now, and he said, I don't think anybody had skill back then. Michael Jordan was the only one that really had skill. You know what I mean? So that's why when they saw Kobe, they were like, oh, my God. But now everybody has skill.
Thanks a lot, Anthony.
Yeah.
I think he should have asked somebody, maybe his father or his grandfather, about Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Dr. J, Isaiah Thomas, Larry Bird, Kevin McHale, Clyde Drexler, all these guys, Dominique Wilkins. We had some of the most dominant players that's ever played.
You should buy the Timberwolves just to scare the crap out of him. Bring him in for his contract. And go, Anthony, this thing about the skill, I'm paying Ohtani $2 million.
Yes.
You want to be in that boat, too?
Exactly. Well, also, too, you might want to talk trash when you won something.
Oh, that's true.
If this came from some of the guys who just won on the Celtic team, okay, you might want to look at it. But you haven't won anything. If I'm Anthony Edwards, I'm concerned about the Dallas Mavericks, about OKC, about Boston, about all these great teams.
You're not thinking about players of the past?
Yeah, exactly. You concentrate because you got beat by the Mavericks. You didn't make it to the championship. So I'm concentrating on that instead of what happened in a time you wasn't born.
He probably...
So Anthony Edwards has upset all-time greats, man. I've seen all type of people come out and say what they said about Ant-Man. Everybody from Muggsy Bogues to Magic, right? It has evoked a response. The great Dominique Wilkins, who Magic mentioned in this video. Skill gets misconstrued sometimes, I will say, in the game of basketball. And this is... So what we're seeing now, the crossovers, all of that stuff is nice. All the dunks, all the one-on-one basketball, right? It was more team-oriented back in the times that Ant-Man is talking about. Wasn't as many threes taken. It wasn't so individualized. I think Michael Jordan's impact actually made them try to find the next Jordan and has been changing the rules piece by piece ever since his retirement, because what he meant for the league economically, that was just a phenomenon. And so they've been trying to create that presence again. Skill to me, though, is, yes, I have counter moves. I can do the most beautiful isolation move that you'll ever see, right? But to me, it's about what move can I make or moves can I make to score at will, play make it will on the offensive end, um, where I can get to this spot no matter what somebody does, no matter how draped over me they are on defense, no matter what the game plan is. I can do this at will the entire game and nobody's going to do anything about that. I think because sometimes maybe that may not be aesthetically pleasing. People don't think it's a skill, um, but it is, right? You drill your skills. You drill your skills and being able to perform them in the game is what culminates the whole thing, right? So someone like Tim Duncan who would catch it, kiss it off the glass, keep his hands high, and his know-how and his skill was so great. He would keep his hands high, so a more athletic player expecting him to bring the ball down, he'll keep it high on the offensive rebound and finish. All of these things are skills. They may not be the prettiest thing to watch, but they are indeed skills. So we can't discredit it because it isn't, a Kyrie Irving looking crossover, or it isn't, a 360 layup, on somebody. We can't say that skill and the person that can do it over and over, no matter what defense it is, can't. Because there are always minor adjustments they have to make. Even though it looks the same, there's minor adjustments you have to make, to score on different defenses night in and night out. So it don't matter if it don't look good. There is certain angles they're taking to get to their spots on the floor. And also, when you talk about skill on the defensive end, I mean, the defense has kind of been taken out the game. And I think that's why at times we can struggle with inferior teams in FIBA play. And they're trying to bring some of the physicality back, which I appreciate, because these guys are going to need to know how to play through physical basketball. You don't need to be calling, pump fake, jumping to the player over the 3-point line, 3-shot fouls, right? You shouldn't be calling that. Again, so man, yeah, I think I think the players have skills. I don't think it's the talent of the players that has fallen off. I think it's the way that they're having to play, how soft it has gotten at some point. And I'm gonna say this to Anthony Edwards: there's no way, no matter how bad Michael Jordan's team would have been, that Kyrie Irving and those Dallas Mavericks would have been able to slow him down. Not at no point in his NBA career would they have been able to slow him down. If he was on the team that would have lost to that Mavericks team because they were young, he would have averaged 38, 39, maybe 40 for that series, So, um, yeah, man. And I think Anthony Edwards prefaced his comments by saying he didn't watch. So it kind of invalidates them anyway. I want to know what you guys think about Magic coming back at him, spinning the block one more time, though. Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time.